Everyone shut the f*** up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are TWoTCast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are TWoTCast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time Reread Podcast. Explicit in R. Freaking rated. Jono's the wild card. Always talking shit. Joe's the straight man. He's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
What did you guys do?
We are TWoTCast episode, Dragonmount episode, I guess. What number is it, Jono?
This is episode 369, part 69.
Yeah, and then we just decided to take over Dragonmount stream tonight.
Yeah,
that's the plan, I think. With us is a guest to Dragonmount who's never been on the show before, Tom DeSimo.
You could take me over whenever you want.
No, I will take you under as well. I'm a little giving type of man.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
You're watching Dragonmount, right?
Yeah, that's right. The Reread podcast.
Yeah, we're doing something. Who knows what it is? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, how are you, Tom?
Oh, I'm just dandy. I've only had one drink tonight, so you know.
So is on a scale of 1 to 10, where is dandy, and would a handy help?
A handy would always help, and I think it would put me into fine and dandy. It would put me into fine and dandy if I got a handy.
Yeah, okay, that's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. And your normal Dragonmount less drunk dickhead show. Obviously, this is how you start off, right?
Always, every time.
That's a very
less drunk dickheads. Yeah.
I mean, we can get more drunk if that's what we want. I got my Tito's right here.
I mean, we're getting there. We're gonna get there.
I appreciate you guys. Obviously, no Ebony and Crystal tonight. They have their
lives.
Yeah, their day jobs are encroaching on our fun. I really just wanted to use the word. I know. I just wanted to use encroaching because Ebony works for the Commanders, so you know, there's definitely a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's a very upsetting development.
Yeah, but they send their love, and Crystal said she's going to imagine murdering most of the parents that she has parent-teacher conference with. Now, I put words in her mouth.
Okay, yeah, congratulations.
They rescheduled their meetings with her like 6 times, and they just keep saying that they don't care.
Is that allowed?
Apparently it is.
Nah.
I don't know. I don't have kids, and I plan on not doing that ever.
Fuck yeah. For every nut of it.
Too late for me.
Yeah. Joe's
silly pants.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Speaking of kids, though, are they? I know you guys always do some pretty epic cosplays at conventions and stuff. My favorite by far, and I don't have a picture of it. I wish I did. Is I don't have one uploaded. I'm sure it's in my JordanCon thing somewhere. Is folders. When you guys did the shrub that Rand and Matt sleep under from Eye of the World is probably my favorite one. Yeah,
that was good. Let's say it was a group effort. It took a lot of people together. Actually, I mean Taffy Bennington, who just sang that beautiful intro song, for those of you who don't know, came up with that brilliant idea, and I was like, "That's fantastic."
She's a creative.
Absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Who was
I wasn't sure how well it was. Lauren, my wife, and Taffy were the shrub, and they had like a big cloak, and they kind of just held it like as a drape, so it was like kind of like a squared off shape of a shrub kind of thing with them together.
Big curtains.
And then me and a friend of ours from JordanCon was Randall Thor. Hid under the bush. Did you do anything for your kids for Halloween? Are they going to be like an alien popping out of your chest or some kind of crazy nonsense? No, but did you ever watch that cartoon Exo Squad? I've always wanted to build have my son on the carrier in the front and then build like the suit, like I'm the robot suit. Yeah. Or like the thing from Aliens 2, if you really,
or a Gundam if you want to be a super nerd.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
well, that scale's wrong, Tom. They're like little pilots inside of a head.
Or the Spaceballs thing, which is really just the same idea, but just far less.
No, I didn't do anything super fun. My wife was obsessed with my son being dressed as an adorable bear this year, so I shifted her from Winnie the Pooh into Ewok so we could all do Star Wars together. So that's what we're doing.
Shit!
But he's still a small bear.
Wyatt, that's funny. That's funny. Just everyone ran. That's great. Little Rand shards from the Bubble of Evil.
This is a spoiler episode, right?
Yeah. We're gonna do here. Let me throw out my spoiler tag. I had it down from when I was streaming games today. There we go. We'll stick with season. Oh, that should say season 1 and 2. Anyway, we'll stick with the full show spoilers and just books 1 and 2 for now. And then at the end of the show, after the episode is done playing, we'll switch over to full books.
Okay. Well, then forget that tiny Rand. There is no spoiler such a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No one. That's not really that big of a spoiler anyway. It's
nor
not
is it necessarily.
It's also completely out of context, so that doesn't mean anything.
Spoiler alert: Rand doesn't die in the first 2 books.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. The guy that has the very
I
first
love the
point
person
of view.
that doesn't know what Tiny Rand is just going like, wait a minute, what?
Tiny Rand? What's a tiny Rand?
What does that mean, Tiny Rand?
Randall Thunder.
That's what meant that.
Like you're just waiting for it every book after book. What's going on? Where is Tiny Rand going to come up?
That's Rand's future wife's nickname for his penis is Tiny Rand.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct. Yeah,
that makes sense. My wife calls me Tiny Jono.
I knew it. That's that it was living in the back of my brain. That's every time I hear it come out of
but not too far
bedroom
back.
when I'm lurking. I lurk in the hallway outside your bedroom and I hear her say that.
Yeah, every once in a while. Not like a lot, Tom, right?
No, just
No, yeah, it's just a little bit.
2-3 nights a week.
Yeah. It's reasonable.
Yeah,
it's reasonable. I mean, anything more than that would become an obsession, I think.
It's all right, Arosa. That just means it's time for a reread.
You don't know what
Arosa.
Tiny Rand is, and you read the books.
It's time for a reread, Arosa. That's what that means.
Yeah, clearly. Well, also, I mean, I think that's kind of a thing that like lives in certain people's heads, if depending on how insane you are and how attached you are to some like brief moments in time, and then certain other people of like a normal variety might just read past that part without really much,
It's pretty inconsequential in the larger scheme of things, but at the same time,
100%.
extremely important if you're a bunch of deranged drunks. And that's okay. Yeah,
that's fair. Are you guys? When was the last time you guys reread any of the books?
So like on a personal level, I finished book 2 about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, something like that, and I'm taking a break to read the Slow Horses books, and then I'm gonna read the third book, obviously after that, the third Wheel of Time book.
When did we do book 3, Jono? Not last year because we did
a year and a half ago.
Last year, so I guess right before we did those books, I reread the entire series. So I just finished a reread, and then we did book 1, 2, and 3 again. So like I finished 14 and read 1, 2, and 3 again really fast. I haven't read one since I guess that was 2021. No, I
love the fact that you're like, I haven't read this since 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, it's been 2 years. It's a while.
Rosa was the first time reader after the first couple after they watched season 1 of the show, which is great.
Oh wow,
awesome! So real quick, and I know that Tom actually has a relevant point to answer, but like sometimes people have mixed opinions on the show, and that's fine, fair with that. But I think the coolest thing that can happen is if people become fans of the books, and the fact that you read 14, I'm going to assume, and presumably Newspring as well. I think that's the fucking key. Like that to me is like that's awesome. Really could not be like that's the best thing about the show. Besides being sometimes a good medium, sometimes mediocre, bringing people into real fandom. Like all the way in. Fuck yeah.
I'm excited to get new blood into the fandom. Like not that not that I'm upset at seeing you guys again. I mean but we've been doing this
for a long time, Tom.
20 plus years at this point. Close. Like Jordan Con's been going for, this is coming up on 16, right? Yeah.
I think it's 15 or 16.
It's gotta be 15, right? Because we started this show at Jordan Con.
I think they said last year was 15, but I'm pretty sure they were wrong and it was 14.
Okay. So it's either 15 or 16 years of at least JordanCon, and I met y'all at JordanCon too. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like it's nice. Like every year for the past like 3 years, it's been like at JordanCon. Ebony, Ebony does the new member thing, and she'll be like, "Who's new here?" And a sea of hands go up, and people who haven't read the books or are in the middle of reading the books, and now they have the thing where they wear like the badge ribbons that say, "Oh, I'm reading book 3, book 4," and I love it.
Yeah, the knowing what book they're on is really helpful, I think, because sometimes you meet a new person and you're like, it's one, you have to ask that question. That's immediately going to come up because 90% of the conversations there are pertaining to the books. Yep. And you're just like, who's a new reader, or what, like kind of thing. Just standing outside, I don't even mean in the panel.
Yeah,
but like, those ribbons are helpful. They've come in very handy.
So, Tom, when was the last time you read the books?
I re-listened. I listened to Rosamund Pike's narration of Eye of the World and Great Hunt recently. She was great.
I haven't listened to those. I should do that.
Funny. Actually, hold on. It's a interesting fun fact. Actually,
Wheel of Time. Fun fact.
The Rosamund Pike's mom directs the audiobook. She's the director of the audiobooks.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
due to like
nepotism
or no? I'm just kidding. Yeah. Is that what she actually does, like in general?
I honestly, I would like, just as you were asking that question, I was like, I wonder if that's like her. Like, I mean, it's got to be Amazon's letting her like do the thing.
Yeah, that'd be a little. Well, it's not Amazon, isn't that?
Or is
more
it maybe it's
Thor?
Or Macmillan, right? It's Macmillan Audio, right?
Is it still Macmillan Audio?
I don't remember. It usually says it right in the beginning of the book.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I mean, the Michael Kramer and Kate Redding ones were done so long ago now.
I know.
I don't.
Well, I'm listening.
I wonder if it's changed.
I'm listening to A Memory of Light right now, and I think it still starts off with Macmillan Audio.
Yeah, it probably is Macmillan. What a weird question to dive down into without knowing the answer.
Ooh, it's Brother
Show
Dan.
Credentials.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a good question.
Even if it is nepotism, maybe she's like, my mom knows me this well and can get me get good reactions or acting.
I mean, I don't know how much direction is really needed for reading a book, but it's good quality.
Yeah,
like I like it. I enjoy it.
Does she do like voices and stuff?
She does change her voice a bit for characters.
What about the more extreme characters like Loyal?
Yes, she does adjust her voice. She doesn't do a good a job as like Michael Kramer, and even Kate Redding when she occasionally has to do.
She would do Elder Hammond and stuff a lot because he was with Moraine or with the Elder.
When Loyal's mom.
Yeah.
Shit. Aerith is in my head, but I can't get
Aerith,
his mother's
that's
name.
what I was trying to come up with.
Yeah, that's
Aaron.
Where's Noman Garden when you need him? He's usually the one that has the trivia for us. But I digress. So we're gonna get ready to launch episode 3, which is A Place of Safety for season 1 over on Twitch. So if you guys want to watch over on Twitch, go over to the Dragonmount.com on Twitch, and you could watch the watch party, but you could also mute us in Twitch so that you can watch us here and have the watch party going in Twitch, or you could just go over there. It's entirely up to you. If you don't want to do that, I will give a shout out for the timestamp that we're currently at when I launch the show, so you could follow along that way as well.
Her name was Covril or Covril.
Corvril.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Corvril. Yeah, no, she is. She's great. I don't think she's
even
bad.
Sings.
She does sing. She does do all the songs, which are great. I forgot about the singing.
I think she would do a good job. I'm not like assuming she didn't or anything, but
she does a great job.
How far she went into that, varying her voice up for different characters or whatever.
She does vary her voice. There's an like she's not like a professional voice actor, but she's a professional actor, and she can adjust.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
She could hit ranges, and she could do different accents very well. So I think she does good.
I did. I think I even have them downloaded already because I had an Audible account for the longest time, and then I finally wasn't using it as much as I used to, and I was like, okay, let me get those books before I get rid of this or whatever, kind of thing. And, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I have them already.
I'll go back even weirder. One time I had to do a unnecessarily long road trip to take a girlfriend all the way up and down the East Coast, which was hellish. And Joe gave me the books on tape because I drive the same car. Cassette tape. Literally book on tape. That's got.
Thanks, Dan.
Mark Ralston was the original narrator of The Eye of the World. I think he made it through the first several books.
I never heard him.
It was actually very I had to listen to it twice. I drove a long way.
It was rare, I think, even when I bought it. Yeah. I bought it from a used bookstore that had them on their shelf for the longest time, and I was like, I want those, but I'll get them later. And then 3 years later, when I finally was like, I'm gonna get these now, they were still collecting dust.
I recommend someone find them because it starts off with a great voice, very sonorous, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden it gets to Tom Maryland, which is pretty early. And all of a sudden, the voice that he uses for Tom Maryland is 6 octaves higher, and it's I'll tell you what. And it's just the most quintessential he's
a dandy Irishman.
Can you run that one by me again?
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
Top of the morning to you, ladies.
Yeah, it was the most off-putting. I probably almost wrecked the fucking U-Haul I was driving.
Speaking of off-putting Wheel of Time things, though. What's more off-putting, that Tom Maryland voice or the Robert Berry soundtrack from 1995? Have you ever heard that one?
Berry soundtrack.
You never heard that?
No.
You never.
I don't think I ever heard it.
No.
Oh my god!
I think I've heard pieces. I think I've heard tidbits of it.
Yeah, I don't want to get demonetized again. So if you for people that are watching, go just Google Robert Berry. I think it's the worst song on there. I think is called "Ladies of the Tower."
Yes.
Oh,
this already sounds like something I'd write.
It's so bad. So bad.
Sounds good already just from the title.
Yeah, I'm putting it in my phone for tomorrow. Robert Berry soundtrack.
Yeah, in fact, hold on. I think I have it sitting on my shelf. Yeah, it's right there. Hold on. Luckily, I have all my nerddom sitting behind me.
Yeah, of course.
What do I have?
It doesn't.
I got a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at that.
That
CD.
awesome.
Yeah, and
sweet artwork.
And luckily the CD is still in there. Let's see what the songs are called. We have the theme for the Wheel of Time.
Of course.
The Return to Emmons Field, A Song for Moraine, Traveling the Ways, Spears and Bucklers.
Interesting.
That sounds different, but all right.
Dreamwalker, Knowledge of the Wise Ones, The Winespring Reel, Halls of
Someone should
Tarvalon.
find the Mark Ralston tapes and combine them with the soundtrack to make a really epic old school version.
Would it be epic though?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
it would.
How dare you?
March of the Trollocs was most of them. I think 80% of the songs. I only think 3 or 4 of them have lyrics. Most of them are.
Show that again. I want to see that Daryl K. Sweet.
Oh, you like my shorts? These are my animal shorts.
I
don't know if you could see them.
Daryl K. Sweet cover, but yeah.
No, let me see the Daryl K. Sweet art on that cover again.
Oh, the cover, yeah.
I do love your shorts, by the way.
Yeah.
That looks like a combination of Daryl K. Sweet's work and.
I remember that. No, that's an alternate. That was an alternate cover for 7 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
And they have the.
Oh fuck yeah! From book 1.
Oh, look at that!
From book 1, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Also, alternate artwork.
Yeah.
I wonder what's in the book. I don't think I've opened this book in a while either.
So this is our episode covering
old Wheel of Time nonsense.
Yeah, we're not going to start the show, guys. We're just going to do this.
Yeah.
Let's see who's involved in this. Let's see if we recognize any names.
Classic derailers of Tom's train of thought.
Oh yeah.
Joe and Jono.
Absolutely.
Rosamund Pike's mom.
Yeah, Rosamund Pike's mom. That's all it says. No, it's just all Robert
That was her credit.
Rosamund Pike's mom. That's it. No, yeah. Oh, there we go. So what does this say? Music has always been an integral part of my writing. Not only do I write to music, but I think of my writing in terms of music. The words must flow in certain rhythms, and the story has its own rhythms. In a way, it's like orchestrating the characters. Robert Jordan.
Also, I do use WoT once in a while, but to me, I think it should just be TWoT. I think is at the end of there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I think it says twat.
Yeah,
it says twat.
That'll be a lot of time. Yeah, just kind of for that at your face.
All right, I think that's enough derailing to give people time to get over to Twitch if they want to follow along. So I'm going to start clicking play on the episode now. Takes a second for it to actually start. So,
are you starting it from the episode, or are you watching the preview or the?
Watch the whole recap, everything. And the opening theme. I just let everything play, so that we don't have to worry about trying to skip and line back up and all that. All right, so. It says, grab a snack and hit the lights. The watch party begins in 5 seconds. That was my elevator voice. There.
That's good. Jono's is, let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby and find ourselves a snack.
Blink, goom, blink, goom.
Delicious.
Joe's to drink.
Things to eat.
The TWoTCast can't be beat. Did you know
we got to get you. We got to get you on. Whose line is it anyway? Now.
Yeah.
Don't be. What'd you do? Are you trying to lure people into a van again or something? What'd you do, Dan?
You can watch on Amazon like I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm watching on Amazon right now.
Yeah, we're 55 seconds into the recap. Nynaeve just snuck up on land.
All right.
So how hard do you think Lan was when he had that when he noticed Nynaeve snuck up on him? She was able to sneak up on him.
So that's a great question, right? And that's one of those, like, we asked Rafe on Twitter and he did not respond.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He was definitely hard.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard though. Maybe halfsies.
Yeah. At the very
least. It turns them on for sure.
Definitely.
He's and that's one of the things. Actually, if you look in one of the interviews, like Rafe said, he would never say how old this version of Lan is because he didn't want to kind of give away his like ability to give or not get boners, and so that kind of
this opening scene is pretty awesome. I love this.
Oh, one. Right, actually, to the point. Yeah, it's fucked up.
I honestly really like the Trollocs. Oh yeah,
I do too, and I also really like just the time we spend with them in this sort of just makes it feel more real because it's practical makeup and
mostly.
Yeah,
it's kind of reminiscent of that Lord of the Rings scene when Merry and Pippin are captured.
Oh,
they're all arguing.
Yeah.
It's kind of reminiscent of that in the sense of like it gives you a lot of time spent with them and it just feels more real.
And
all right, the CG in this scene is a little bad.
It's true, but I think this is interesting contrast because we're talking about seasons 1 and 2, right? Like there's an interesting contrast with kind of what Ishamael is showing at the beginning of season 2, with like, oh, they're not that evil. And
just like petting the face.
Yeah.
This is a very different Trolloc opening.
Yeah.
So now, how do you think she got there? I mean, it's a Trolloc, man, right? It could run fast. Like, is it because she knows where she knows these woods like the back of her hand, kind of thing, or do you think it's like unrealistic that she got there ahead of it?
Oh.
The Trolloc is full from eating, maybe.
That's true.
And he's about to go swimming, and it hasn't been 30 minutes since he ate.
That's true. Yeah,
that's why she's able to kill it so easily.
If you look briefly, she like looks at her at her watch real quickly and goes like, "I got you, motherfucker." Got you. Yeah.
So the trivia for this scene says Trollocs have few minor instincts, but neither loyalty nor compassion are in their makeup. Food is one of the biggest priorities, and they will eat whatever is most convenient, including wounded comrades' arms.
I mean, I think that part of my
definitely true statements.
Yeah, very true. But I don't love that these type of things have to be put in a like. By the way, if you'd like more information on the thing.
Well, that's not that one, and that one in particular is not bad though. It's just like explaining something that you can get just by watching it. But.
Yeah, mostly usually the trivia is like behind the scenes stuff or like information that you wouldn't normally have, except for the case of the Rings of Power. This is a little much. When the dragon fang forms in the blood, I was like, come on.
Really? I don't mind that at all.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought it was weird.
I'm more confused why the water looks like there's like cum suffused in the middle of it.
It's paint.
Oh yeah,
from the deleted scene of that beautiful, very reminiscent of a beautiful piece of art that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
a really shitty artist, but he happened to make one good picture. I mean, or two. There is another picture I like. It's behind Momo right now. Momo's slightly obscuring it.
Bunch of bullshit.
No, if you didn't know,
sons of bitches.
Joe, in addition to being one of the talking heads at TWoTCast, is also an artist. And I really, on a serious note, I really do enjoy your art a lot. That's why, that's why Maureen is right up there. I will say, though, like, these are three of my favorite Maureen's. We have Joe O'Hara, Ariel Burgess, and then Dan Dos Santos.
Dan Dos Santos. That Maureen that Dan did for the ebook covers is flawless. Loved it.
Joe is technically a published Wheel of Time because he's got his Tom Maryland's in the encyclopedia.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Also, never forget, Joe's also a piece of shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I still love.
I mean, wait a minute.
Also, don't forget.
Yeah.
Jono says horrible things.
Yeah. Sorry. I love this intro. I think it's one of the most like of all the shows.
I was so mad they weren't playing it second season.
Yeah, apparently they did it to save time.
Yeah,
why? It's a streaming show. It doesn't matter.
I don't know why Amazon is so fucking stingy with how much time they give to these.
What is the intro like? Maybe 30 seconds? Like, really?
It's close to 90. I think it's close to a minute.
No.
Yeah, it's
like a minute and a half.
I think it's like 70 something seconds.
Still.
Quarter chub right now.
I think it's ridiculous.
You got quarter chub. Look at that face.
Yeah.
You could tell because of his chin. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that how it is?
Yeah.
My wife said that Lan looked less ripped this second season than he does in the first season.
Really? All right. Now I got to compare. I don't know.
Maybe not even less ripped. She said he got thinner, like he's trimmed down. Like maybe he got more ripped and got trimmed down.
No, but maybe that makes sense.
She thought he was bigger and stronger looking in the first season.
Yeah, maybe he kind of stopped eating after he kind of lost
the bond. The bond got
bond.
or may or did not bond. Confusion. Don't know.
Yeah, it was. She released his bond. Like that's where we're at. Like okay.
That's not one of my favorite plot lines of that second season.
No,
it starts here.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping, I guess them. I mean, she should have said that she released the bond and not Matt. I don't know. It was
unnecessarily murky.
Yeah, it was wonky.
Yeah. So in season 1, I was under the impression that she masked the bond.
That's what we thought too. That's what he said
when they went into the. Yeah, but in season 2, I think they just kind of twist it and change it a little bit. Whereas, if they just stuck with what she did, it would have been fine. I don't know.
That's a weirdly erotic scene we just watched, right?
Well, I told you he's got quarter chub going on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine biting?
Look at Shadow Logoth in the background bracelet. Too. I like that shot of Shadow Logoth. All right, what'd you say?
I mean, she bit through his leather gauntlet. Like, he wouldn't be in any pain at all. Like, he probably wouldn't even feel it.
Maybe he likes that.
Yeah. Again, it's up to him. I do like Shadow Logoth in the background. It's not something that really. It's kind of there, and I almost wish it would be like more obvious. And I think this is a cool looking scene. It's very obviously it's natural because that's a real fucking rock outcropping and all that. And I really, no offense. Like I think Donald Flynn does great. I think this version of Barney, who's dirty and fucking weird, is actually excellent.
I really liked Barney. It's a shame. For sure.
Yeah.
I really do like Donald Flynn. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're both
great. He did a great job. I just maybe it's just because he wasn't there from the beginning, and then it's a switch, any change of any kind, no matter how good they are, I'm gonna be like, oh man, or whatever. But I really did like Barney too, so it's a shame.
So, Tom, do you know of any kind of dual Matt actor fanfics that have been written yet, or is that something that's coming out soon?
Now you've given me an idea to write one, though.
Yeah, because that seems pretty you can definitely do. Yeah.
Portal Stone fan fiction of Donald Flynn meeting Barney's Matt. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
That probably should happen. And one of the things that like a legitimate thought. I love the fact that when they were doing like the season 2 kind of like season 1, like here's what happened. They were not shy in showing Barney. And I'm glad of that because like they were like, hey, this is what our
in the flashbacks and stuff. They didn't like try to reshoot scenes with Donald Flynn or anything. They just were like,
I thought some of his most convincing acting in replacing Matt was when he saw Perrin and met up with Perrin for the first time, and then also Rand. Like they seemed like genuine moments of like, I'm being reunited with you, and I didn't even for 1 second forget. Or like remember that he was not there season 1. Like it seemed real, and I was like, "Wow, good job!"
Instant chemistry, just instant chemistry. Yeah. The one of my favorite scenes in all of season 1, and actually in season 1 and season 2, is in Shadow Logoth in the prior episode when Matt and Perrin are talking, and Matt gives Perrin the dagger, and he essentially tells Perrin he loves him. He's like, "Your wife made this for me to protect people that to use to protect someone I love." And then he hands him the dagger, and I just like the relationship between that they're showing between the boys. I don't want to say boys because they're not children anymore. They aged them up, but I'm so used to calling them the boys in like book 1.
They're the boys. They're still the girls and still the boys.
That's fair. But they're adults now. Like he's like Perrin's got to be like it doesn't matter. But I just like that it's like a non-toxic, friendly male relationship that they have, especially like is it this episode? Yeah. Is it this episode that they go to Breen Springs? Yeah.
It will be, I'll be honest, I haven't watched season 1 since I watched it the first time when it came out, and then the second time we did our show. So I haven't seen this episode since what was that, like 2021? Is that right?
That's good.
Boys to Men.
That's good. Now I have Boys to Men stuck in my head.
I got it.
Also, what moment are you in? I want to make sure I'm at the right spot.
Oh yeah, so we're at 11 minutes and 24.
Oh, I'm in 3 seconds ahead. I'm feeling all right about that. Good for me.
But then, like you were saying, Joe, the seeing Donald Flynn and Yosha and Marcus on screen together, like they're great actors. Like that, like. Anything you like feel about the show, whether you like it or not, story, lore, direction wise,
100%.
Acting is superb.
Yeah, I agree. And for relatively like unknown people, to be playing these roles that we know are going to carry on for hopefully many seasons.
Yeah. Also, these Monster Rocks,
like they chose some really quality actors at such. Absolutely. I mean, I know they're not as young as they are in the books, but they're still young as actors. So I mean, they chose some really good actors for however young they are in real life.
Some of them are very inexperienced. Some have been in certain movies.
Yeah, some of them in a few things. Yeah, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. Mostly European stuff.
Yeah.
And that's cool. The Queen was in a couple of things, like a show, and then I know she was in Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
and Zoe Robbins is a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Yes, she was. I enjoyed that version of the Power Rangers. Not gonna lie, I liked it.
Fascinating. Did you cover that on your show, or is that you should? We have considered really going nuts on like old school, like.
Everything. No. Well, that was a movie though. That was the new movie, not the old TV show.
Yeah.
But no, still, regardless,
we should watch it. Make my monsters grow.
We've thought about doing the old Rafe Juke.
Let's watch. We should watch an episode or something that all of them have been in.
So we got some Rafe Juke and Survivor. We've got
we gotta watch an episode of Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's genius.
Yeah.
And then what else? Daniel Henning's in what, CSI or something?
Criminal Minds.
Oh, Criminal Minds.
I liked Criminal Minds too. That was a good show.
Yeah, I've watched every Criminal Minds episode with my wife. That's when she's hung.
So, Jono, using your knowledge of Criminal Minds, you could pick out like a really good Daniel Henney episode, centric episode.
All of them.
Who's in Gran Turismo?
I have not.
I want to watch Gran Turismo.
Is someone in that?
I don't know.
Rand?
What?
I don't think Yosha was in any. Was he?
No, isn't it just coming out?
I'm sorry.
Isn't that new?
No, I thought Gran Turismo was the one with Clint Eastwood that came out like a while ago.
No.
Oh no, that Gran Turismo is the racing game.
Yeah.
And they're making a
You're
racing
thinking of
movie.
Gran Torino or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very close.
Jeez, who could ever confuse those two things, Joe?
No, I was just like, because, just the idea that
Clint Eastwood's in a racing movie.
Clint Eastwood would be
Come
in
on,
that
kid.
movie.
I would watch
It's
the
hilarious
show.
to me. No, Gran Turismo is that crap video game that everyone kind of played.
I'm
pretty sure
never
he's
got
in
into
that.
that.
I think it's Yosha in that.
Okay, yeah, no, that's what Hybrid said, yeah.
Yeah, I think he plays like the villain, like the bad guy race car driver, to the hero.
Okay.
Like Wario?
Yeah, he's the Wario.
I wonder if he'll use his if he'll like what accent he'll use for that. Is he gonna
He's
use
gonna
his...
win.
He should do the Wario accent.
Oh, Gran Turismo is great. No, we should. All right, so there you go, Gran Turismo, Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Watch Gone Girl for Rosamund Pike. What was that movie where?
No, you gotta watch Doom. You gotta watch Doom for Rosamund Pike.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was gonna say, well, she's also in a James Bond movie,
Oh, yeah,
so that's I'm partial to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the worst James Bond movies.
Is it Diamonds Are Forever? Not Diamonds Are Forever.
No, Diamonds Are Forever. No.
No, it's
Die Another Day.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I was off by years.
Then we could watch. There's Maria Doyle Kennedy's in like a million things, but she was in like, I don't know, 10 episodes or so of Dexter.
God, that's right.
And then I think she was in most of Orphan
Ventura
Black.
2 is obviously on the list.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That one kills me.
For those of you who don't know, Swan Sonch also was in
Ace Ventura 2.
Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah.
Was that When Nature Calls?
That's exactly the one. And that's probably one of the top 10 greatest movies of all time, if we're being very honest. And it's 100% no questions. That's there's nothing racist or conforming with understanding of it. That's a perfect movie in every sense of the word.
What was that Rosamund Pike movie where she was like screwing over old folks' homes or something like that? It was on Netflix. I don't remember what it was called. It was really good.
Yeah.
Really
no, that was you're talking about the one.
But obviously, Die Another Day should take
2 or 3 years ago.
This is awesome. So I thought this dream sequence was done really, really well.
Mm-hmm. I
Ishmael was genuinely terrifying in this one with the quick flashes of him.
Yeah, I think they did good, like showing the horror aspects of the Wheel of Time in the show. I think and obviously season 2 they dialed that up, but I think they did a good job of it.
And clearly Ishmael's like, I'm going to show a wolf doing this to your wife, so you distrust them completely.
I said the exact same thing, and like everybody was like, no, that's the wolf protecting parent. I'm like, no, it's not.
I loved that.
That's clearly, first of all, one of the wolves would never do that.
No.
Number one. Number two,
he would have chased Perrin out of the dream. That's what he would have did.
Yeah.
If he was trying to protect him.
That's clearly Ishmael fucking with Perrin.
And maybe there's some relevance to it, but that she was a dark friend, and therefore the wolf. Like this was all like a good thing for him to have just butchered his own wife, as opposed to like divorce. Whatever works.
Yeah.
Fascinating theory.
They're channeling King Henry, right?
Yeah, you may want to check out people who espouse that theory.
Oh, it's the great Nomengarden. There he is. We
needed you earlier. I don't remember why, but we needed you.
We forgot what Coverall's name was.
That's right. No.
We're 18 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yes.
Damn it.
Which, by the way, is legal.
Getting behind.
Yeah.
What was it?
All right.
Oh yeah. I forgot I started this. Hybrid. Yeah, I would like to see them do some more Shadow Spawn. I'm thinking we're gonna see that in season 3. Maybe an additional Shadow Spawn of some type. That would be nice. But speaking of season 3, Rafe posted that they, or Priyanka posted that they wrapped. So I'm excited about that. And look at this picture. This picture's fantastic.
You need to reread that because they wrapped only in that location.
Yeah. Well, they wrapped that location. That's right.
Yeah, because I saw that and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, that was cool.
But I just love this picture too. Look at them.
It's ridiculous.
I think they're pretty fantastic.
Whoa.
and relax.
I just love that.
Thank you.
He makes me happy. And then this one.
Why does he make you happy?
Dane is coming.
Dane is coming.
Yeah. Because they're both very hot.
I want to read you or listen, have you listen to one of the things that Alan Romanchuk said for season 2. His
biggest aside, Maxim infuriates me.
His biggest criticism is Rand's shaved hair. That's it. That's the only one he would articulate because he liked the big ginger hair.
I like the fact that they shaved his head because it makes sense. Like he's trying to hide his red hair.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I didn't care.
Yeah, I love Alan though. Alan, I'll just support anything Alan says.
Everything Alan says is gold.
Pure gold. Yeah, it's just pure gold.
I hope he's at Jordan Con next year.
Yeah.
How did you feel about them seeing an Aiel in a cage this early on?
I was fine with that, but I was more it was more like Matt and Rand not being like as surprised as I thought they should be.
There you go.
I was fine with them doing it in more. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. They should have been way more surprised.
Yeah,
That's
it's the context
really good point
around it. Yeah.
But I was fine with it. I suppose it was like it didn't mean a great deal to me, but as long as they did Gaul in a cage later. So like the only reason I didn't like it is the potential that like they might not do that later, which they didn't. They changed it to happy endo, but that's okay. Yeah. They still did it. You know, if we had not gotten that scene in at least some capacity, I would have been like, "Oh, you sons of bitches!" That was all it was.
That's a good point. I like that. Maybe that was a gray man that abducted Matt in season 2 with Lanfear.
Every season so far, we've seen an Aiel in a cage.
Very good point. Because that person was non-existent on screen. That's a really good point. I love that. I like that theory of whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jono. What you were saying?
Oh, I was just ranting about the idea that maybe the next season we'll have another Aiel in the cage because we're 2 for 2 so far.
That's true. Well,
that's still how we get Gaul.
No book 4 spoilers yet, but we do know that they're jumping to book 4, and there are more Aiel featured in that book than the previous 3. So, but we can talk more about that later.
What do you guys think about Tom fucking Maryland?
I love Alexander Willem.
I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
And I wish those patches were on the outside of his coat.
I think that
he flips it around.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a reversible jacket.
It's reversible.
but it's he's doing it because he's playing to the crowd. Like he's not going to be the big flamboyant, you know.
This is his mountain man version.
I love that theory, Tom.
Yeah,
I want it to be true.
Well, I mean, Tom says that in the book. That's what he says. He says that you play to your crowd. He's like, I'm not going to go into an inn with a bunch of drunken sailors and read high chant. I'm going to sing. Yeah. You know, songs about barmaids.
But the cloak is that point of pride to Tom.
Yeah,
like, you know.
I think my issue is we're going. There's no cloak here. It doesn't have to be this scene. I get the idea. Maybe it's a reversible cloak. Fine, whatever. Although, again, a guy playing a guitar in the middle of a inn seems like everyone knows he should be wearing a fucking reversible cloak to me.
Yeah.
But
I hope we do see it. I really hope we do.
But it bothers me that the only reversible cloak or the only fucking patchwork cloak we've seen is in season 2, and it's someone yelling out about the.
It's a real quick brief, random.
And that Bill Gleeman, that one, that's one of those things that's so small. It's probably not important, really. But it's the
Tom's lack of involvement in season 2 is a little bit of a concern too, because I was like, at least bring him back for like one episode.
Yeah, he was filming. You know, what 1812.
Yeah.
But that show got canceled. So
wait, which one's 18?
Yes, bring him back. Season 3.
Which one's 1812?
I think it was on Hulu. I don't know. It was a show about. I think it's about the War of 1812.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the War of 1899.
That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, Tom.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't watch it. I just know it got canceled.
It's about the Civil War.
Yeah, obviously.
Very ahead of its time.
I hate you. I'm trying to find the image of that Gleeman. I have I have it.
Oh, I've got it somewhere.
What episode is that? Episode 6?
Yes. Yes.
There.
No, it's way earlier. It's like 4?
It's like 2-3 or 2-4 when Rand is walking through Carrion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's when the inn isn't even burned down yet. Right?
Yeah. Spoilers for the inn, by the way. You're about to lose your life.
Yeah. Apparently I don't have those screenshots saved. Whatever. $18.99. Okay, that's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah,
no,
so 1899.
The War of 1899. That's what I said.
Yes.
No, that's a fucking if you watch Dark is the best TV show I've ever seen, by the way. And it's made by the same people who made 1899. Dark on Netflix.
Oh, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Best show. Especially seasons 1 and 2.
Is it a lighthearted show?
Very much not. Just a good old, time travel, nuclear confusion, dead children show. And if that's
that sounds like that show on Sci-Fi, Travelers.
Maybe.
You ever watch that?
No, I don't know how to watch TV.
Okay. What a dumbass comment.
I was gonna just let it go because it doesn't make sense.
What are you talking
I don't have the image of Jono says
Jono loves to, how you're like, oh well, I can yes and anything. Like Jono's the opposite of that. It just shuts conversations down with inane. Like, God damn it, Jono.
Inane nonsense.
Foreplay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. I sent it to you, Tom.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. Shut it down. Oh, towards the white. Yes, east towards the White Tower is a very relevant point. One of my biggest issues with both seasons so far is the fact that the map, which I think is really an underappreciated character in the entire series, is not really well adapted in the show. Like what the size of the world is, what the directions, the dimensions.
I don't know. Don't you think look at the distance you can see there.
They're supposed to be just barely east of Shadar Logoth. And do you think east towards the tower? That's, yes, relevant point. I don't know, 800, 1,000 miles between them and their...
yeah. They don't do a good job telling you how long they drilling it into you, like how long.
I think that's more of the issue. I don't necessarily need to see maps.
No, but they could be like, oh, it's
they made it the
2
intro.
weeks.
It'd be like ripping off Game of Thrones, so you can't do that. So it's like, but a map as a fantasy reader was a big deal, like a Dungeons and Dragons nerd when you were a kid. Stuff having the map,
what are the map's motivations?
Yeah, if I opened up a book and there wasn't a map, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I was this isn't real.
Yeah, when I open up a book and that's the first thing I would do is I would study the map before I ever opened the fucking prologue.
I always wished that the map had been expanded as the books went on, when
my problem
other
with the story
things
arc
are there to see later on in spoiler time. We could talk about it, but why not do more, show more? I don't know.
The reason I don't like the maps arc in the book is there's just too much symbolism in it for me.
Yeah,
very trite map at the end. Really,
yeah,
I don't like his.
It seemed like it was
on in the later books. It becomes full color, real high on its own horse. Get off your box. You're not that special. You're just a map.
Giggity.
Thank you. By the way, did you know if you want to get into a deep dive, I believe it's John Ford was one of the first people to have done some of the maps for Jordan. Yeah, who was an interesting author on his own. Feel free to read about that.
Okay.
Yeah. They were very good friends, and apparently John Ford used to come by the house sometimes, and Alan told me that was one of his favorite kind of, on again, off again occupants of the Bandersnatch house.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jono.
I did not know
For that weird illuminating point.
Yeah,
They're rare, but they're there, everybody.
Yeah, and then, you know what that was? That was it's that means it's time for another
Wheel of Time. Fun fact.
Good job, Jono.
Yeah,
anytime I get to use those.
Yeah, that's all right. I can give more if you want.
Whatever you want. Whenever you want. Oh, I have the image of that, or it's a
oh yeah. We use videos on our show. There
it is.
That's a good version of the coat. Cloak.
Yeah, I like it.
Coat.
A cloak, if you will. It looked like a poncho, to be honest.
It did sort of like it had kind of sleeves, or at least areas where he could put his arms out. So.
I like this version of the map from the early printings of the hardback books. Yeah, the one that was on the inside cover.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
I like the pictures that are around the edge.
All the extra art around the outside was really cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
Was this John Ford too?
I don't remember. If
I don't know. I never really paid attention to the artists or the maps.
I don't think so. I think the like it may be just the first kind of like like the first Eye of the World, or not Eye of the World.
Maps by Thomas Canty and Eliza Mitchell. This is
Eliza Mitchell. That's the name I recognize from
I think it's the original maps that were drawn. Let me double check.
So maybe like even before the publishing was even happening, maybe it was more of like I need to know what this, or just for Robert Jordan to know where everything was or looked.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I just opened up an email from Alan. It says, "I apologize for the candor," and it's of course Kandor.
Of course, I
love him.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
What do you think about no Samuel Hake and replacing with Dina?
I like this character. I like the Dina character.
You didn't like it?
Have Hake rape without Samuel Hake.
I can live without it. I can live without that.
I mean, Jack and Strom we're gonna hold them down.
Yeah.
you know that was coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'd probably it depends on a lot of things. Probably.
That's a great question, though. If you want to read it out loud because it's your show.
Yeah. So Arosa asked, do we think that if they would use the revised map that Michael Livingston did in Origins of the Wheel of Time?
Well, I was talking to Joe because I thought this was TWoTCast.
I think it's a TWoTCast show.
Yeah. But then secondly, it's a great question because like the revised maps are perfect for like the larger world as far as like what goes on like the more kind of like regional. The regional maps are totally fine.
It'd be kind of cool if they just had like someone randomly, like it doesn't even have to be a main character. It could be like someone they pass on the road. Like if someone was just holding a map of like that area or something as they walked past them or something, that would be kind of cool. Like little Easter egg of just like literally having a map of the area, of like tier or whatever, kind of thing. Or
I think the only map that we get a shot of is there's an image that they used in promotions, but we didn't get it in the show of Loyal holding a map, but it's of the waves for Moraine. And then the one that the White Cloaks have like their little pieces of like, their to show their military around Falm.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I do like Michael Livingston's. I have it here.
Yep.
Somewhere.
Mine is somewhere as well. It might be behind me. Hey, what do you think about this three-way scene?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
At some point, is this not the part where clearly not, where Matt's just kind of like, well, we could have a three-way with her. Is that in this episode?
Does he say that?
No.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that.
Spoiler for me.
You're reading between the lines maybe a little bit.
Was it
I mean, Dina does indicate that they might be lovers, and then
Matt, I like that. I like that
both Matt and or Rand. I think, or I think it's Rand, but he's like, I could do better than Matt, or something.
I like that he did that and didn't like immediately say like
Like,
I'm not
gay.
cool. I'm not gay.
Horrible.
Yeah.
There's a thing coming up here.
That would have been bad.
There's a thing that comes up where Matt makes the point about, like, we could have it together. That's definitely going to happen here.
I sort of like the wolves. I mean, knowing where he ends up with the wolves in season 2.
Yeah.
And now going back to these scenes where like the wolves were chasing them in a certain direction. And obviously that was them. But like to know that was probably also Elias doing that actually makes this scene a little better.
Yeah.
I know it's not, like, they don't show him, and I know, like, but in my head he's there with the wolves. You know what I mean? Like pushing them forward.
Yeah, I like that I like that they did it. Oh, here's the map, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Just kind of switching over.
Wow, that's really all inclusive.
Yeah, it shows how much bigger the Shanshan continent is.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking
I did not realize that, I don't think.
It's pretty big, yeah.
It's in the description, but it's fascinating how badly, especially the World of the Wheel of Time was actually written.
The Big White Book.
I fucking love the Big White Book, though.
I always loved the idea that in theory there was a way you could just like walk to Shanshan, but you'd have to go through the Blight for like ever to get there.
Through the Arctic ice cap too.
Yeah.
Not only Blight, but frozen Blight. Like, what is living in the Arctic version of the Blight?
Evil polar bears.
A Yeti, but
I wish we had seen a little bit. Never mind. Talking not about this anymore.
There you go.
By the way,
here comes Arancino, man.
Yeah. Do you have that for him? Yeah, send that one over. That's one of the most indelible things of our entire show.
God damn it! All right.
Yeah,
Arancino, man.
Yeah, Arancino, man.
You gotta have Arancino, man.
Yeah,
he does look like him. Oh my god, I never noticed that.
To a disgusting degree.
It was the only useful thing I think that I've ever seen.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, hold on.
That would be terrifying.
I like that. I'm just kind of like.
We really are making this a TWoTCast.
Yes.
Sorry, real audience that wants to have cutting edge discussion of the show. Maybe next.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We always go off on tangents and do nonsense. Speaking of, we're at 36 minutes and 50 seconds.
What do you think of actually the depiction here of the Twelfth one?
I love him.
All right, Tom, I've sent you Arancino, man.
Yeah,
I love. I like this version of Aram better. I think it's going to be
100%.
I think it's going to be more poignant when other stuff happens in the future that we can't talk about yet.
I think this is just like, is he better, or is it just because he is an actual actor doing a job, like, and not just some like empty-ish character that Robert Jordan's like, I'll do something with this later, and
I always felt like the Aram in the books was like a dude bro, like all
right, fair enough, yeah.
He gave me like those.
He's like, a lot less that, and he's a lot more like, I actually kind of believe in this. Like, you should, maybe you should think about it, kind of thing.
Yeah. And like, there's no like, they think Perrin and Egwene are together, and Aram is like hitting on Egwene just to make Perrin mad. Like there was like that weird, like he was like looking at Perrin while he was dancing.
I mean, you get there's a little bit of that Aram in this.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But he's not doing it to be a dick. He's just like, we're all dancing. Come dance with me. Like he was doing it purposefully to be a dick in the thing.
Yeah.
But I could totally see it. I totally look it up. I really love Brandon Fraser. But yeah, no, I definitely
look how similar they are. Look how similar they are.
You're 100% correct. I'm just gonna watch this again because this makes me happy.
Especially while Egwene and Perrin are eating, and
yeah, it was perfect.
More mustard, please. More mustard.
You want more?
So
okay,
good.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right, there it is.
I mean, Arancino, man, might be the greatest thing Jono ever said.
The worst part is how long it took. I don't think I would have gotten it. I would have gotten there without you, because I was like, "Is there something from Encino, man?" And no, what is it? And you're like, "Holy shit, you're right," and you found it.
What is Pauly Shore doing with himself nowadays?
There, you're watching it.
Yeah,
He's an extra in the Wheel of Time.
He's
he was in that last scene.
He's
was
the
in that
guy
bar
dressed
scene.
as Odin. He's the guy dressed as Odin in the background.
Yeah.
What a weird cameo that would be.
Yeah.
Him and Brendan Fraser just like in the background.
Completely like you would unintelligible. Like you would never know it was them.
So look, here you go. Matt and I were not. See, well, seems pretty tense for friends.
I love that.
Sexual tension, and then he's like, "I could do better than Matt I'm not, but if I was, I could do better than Matt."
And I like that they did that and didn't make it like, because I feel like if they did this in the early 2000s, it would have been like, "Ew, no, I like women. I'm not gay."
Yes, yeah, it would have been very like homophobic reaction, probably.
Yeah. It's actually homophobic.
In the early 90s.
I mean, they would have did it in the early 2000s too.
Yep, off a cliff.
Yeah.
They were
Look at
still
that
calling
cliff,
things
Jono.
gay on Friends in the early 2000s.
So my favorite recurring thing on this entire show is everyone just looking over a cliff at Eddie's scene. I think part of it's kind of like COVID related in season 1 because like it's a way of having two sets of characters.
I think it was literally their way of showing the breadth of the land, was just like, let's put them up high so we can just show all this stuff underneath.
I was giving it way more like, this is just a better way of doing it.
The fact that they knowing that they couldn't leave Prague and filming season 1, I think this is a great promotional video to go to Prague because there's a lot of really beautiful landscapes and very varying different areas that
By the way, is Bella dead in the show? Didn't they bring Bella into Shatter Logoth?
Yeah, and apparently she got out and she's back. Maureen tells Aldib to lead all the horses back to Tar-Valon when they go into the ways. And Aldib's like, cool. And they go back. So,
I'm sorry. Never watch our show again if you get upset by this. I hope Bella's dead for the simple fact that I don't care about this goddamn horse. Even though Bella goes through many, many iterations with different people. Fair enough. But the fact that people care that much... It's a hot fucking take. Yeah.
It is a hot take.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Cool. It shouldn't be. It should be she's the horse and who cares?
Yeah.
No, everyone people love Bella.
I
don't have the Bella I need
you can love Bella, but thinking she's the creator is insane.
Or the Dark
things
One.
that happen after far too many things. Rand rides certain horses down. Not to death. That didn't happen. But and then they're just gone. Well. Perrin's horse just disappears after he jumps off the fucking cliff after
but it was just a horse. It wasn't like a named horse.
Yeah. It wasn't named. It wasn't Stepper.
No. It wasn't a named horse, yeah.
And then instead this happens and where's Bella?
Well,
I'm as horrible as Jono and I agree. Yeah, the love for Bella is odd.
But that's all right.
It's not all right. Loving Bella isn't odd.
Undeserved.
Bella's surviving as she's just a workhorse and for surviving that far and constantly being used throughout the series is insane.
Yeah, I mean the fact that she's just what would you I guess a workhorse, yeah. She just pulls a cart from town to from the farm to the town every once in a while. She's keeping up with a fully trained war horse and
we all know why that happened.
By the way, maybe you should check on your amazing channeling. But yeah.
I was inordinately upset at when they buried the Aiel in season 2 that they buried him. It looked like laying down.
Fair enough.
It would have saved money because they would have been able to use a smaller pile of rocks to have said that they buried him, to say that they had buried them standing up. But
Jolene or whatever?
Jolene.
Yeah.
All I think of is Dolly Parton.
Jolene.
Jolene's a nice to die later on.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Not to be confused with the other song from Community.
Yeah.
I
a good
love that
song.
show. I love Donald Glover so much.
I think, I mean, as much as he's not wearing the cloak, I love this Tom. I think he did such a good job. I can even forgive the lack of mustaches. I don't mind that either.
I think he's a. So when you have to think about it like this, they're bringing the Wheel of Time to a different era of entertainment. So like that type of character, like the character that Tom was, the depiction of Tom, I don't think would fit in like media now. Like people aren't, especially like a younger crowd isn't going to be like, oh, I like that character if they just see this like really old dude. Like I think Gandalf was the last one. I never saw him
that old, you know. I didn't like
really.
Everyone has this like picture of him in the books like he's ancient, and I'm like, I
think he's.
I don't see him as like old. I mean, I see him as an older person, sure, but like not like 80.
He's 50s,
you know, I always thought of him,
but he's in his 50s in a fantasy like Dark Ages universe.
50s, though.
First of all, Dark Ages. It's supposed to be around kind of.
They lived for a while. You know? I don't think that was that old.
You know.
Yeah.
Good.
Still, that's the point. He was like in his 50s, and people think of him like he's like 85, and I'm like, like for instance, I mean, everyone loves the idea, or loved for a while, the idea that Tom would be cast as what's his name, with the mustache, well-known dude.
Oh yeah, not Jeff Bridges. The guy that's always a cowboy. I forgot his name.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, you know, the guy that's always a cowboy.
Clint Eastwood.
No.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. And then he's in that Gran Turismo movie.
Punk.
John Wayne Gacy. So, to Tom's point, though, which is something we never say on our show.
You can get to my point whenever you want, John.
Pretty fucking old. 50 in the Renaissance is still fucking old.
Yeah, but he's young enough to be running around with them. It's not like he's 80 years old. You know, like people I think have this thought of Tom Maryland like he's like super, super old. I'm like, he's not that old. He's like, you know, I don't know.
He doesn't. He's not young. He sure as shit's not young.
Sure, but I mean, like younger men of like 50-ish age have white-ish hair. You know, like that's not like an impossible thing to achieve as a 50-year-old. You know, you could have gray white hair at a very young age. You know,
I got it. They say he's twice Morghase's age, so he's near. So he's in his 60s.
Yeah, there you go. That, yeah, to Tom's point,
even that.
That's old.
That's old.
I'm glad they brought him down in age. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like a 60-year-old wizened, long, gray. Like first of all, people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's a bite off Gandalf," or "That's a bite off Dumbledore," or
which is what Moraine is really.
Ooh,
you know, I mean, the
books. It's my second favorite Australian right there.
I have a lot of favorite Australians.
Being the object of derision. You should see,
Linda's my favorite, and WoT Holocaust agrees with me.
And very few people have done more for the Wheel of Time community than Linda. That's like one hell of a
she's incredible.
Yeah. On the other hand, WoT Holocaust, one hell of a fucking suppository. So it's nice that they've got that type of parallelism.
So back to the Dina versus Samuel Hague thing. I liked this mainly because it's a change from the books that I don't mind because it surprised me as a book reader. And so it gave me the same fun surprise that all the non-book readers got in the same episode. And that's not an easy thing to do. And I appreciated that they did it just because of that. You know, like I still want to see Samuel Hague. I mean, like I would rather, like my brain would have been like, oh, that would have been better. But at the same time, I'm like, no, this was way cooler. I got to be surprised with everybody else.
He knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
I have no problem with this. Like there are some changes the show has made to the books that I'm like, I don't get this. This one to me is like, you know what? That's a change, and I'm not upset with it whatsoever.
I love the reveal at the end of the season where it kind of flashes back to that moment and Rand like channels to smash the door out. Like there's just like, you know, like, and you don't see that right here, but like, there's a lot of cool moments in this episode that it doesn't really pay off until the end.
The two things that I really like that the show has done for me personally is bringing the new members into the fandom, like we talked about earlier, like bringing new people to the books, or just new people into the fandom at all, not even to the books necessarily, just new people into the fandom. And being able to to like sit on the edge of my seat and think about the Wheel of Time again, like not know what like guess and theorize about like where are they going with things and be surprised, like you said, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and there's an interesting thing, like we've on our show, we sometimes are a little more critical because we sub out a different Tom who's a little more of a dick. And so, criticism is what
he has very high expectations.
Yeah. But
to be nice.
So many things though are actually really interesting on how they do it. And
my main problems with the show these days are more like the inconsistencies that they've presented themselves. Like it's not even just like it's different from the books. It's just they've showed something and then later on they show a different thing, and I'm like, now I'm confused. Like the Moraine, did she mask it? Did she release it? Bond thing. Like I'm like, tell me which. Thank you, Sam Elliott. Just tell me which one you think it should be, and I'll go with it. But it's like, they sort of seem to not know sometimes, and I'm like, why?
So I think, Morgaze is around 43, but I don't think they made Tom 80. I think because she also slowed because she's a channeler. So not much. I don't think she, maybe, I don't know. I don't remember now if.
But does that exist?
No, Tom's in his 60s, from my memory.
Yeah, I would say mid to late 60s. I do like that they also ran away from her with the sword. Like she seems like she knows what she's doing with it too. At least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she seems competent as fuck. Yeah, which I don't like.
It's a far cry from season 2, Ren, where he's like dancing away from Lan and grabbing his sword off his shoulder.
Well, he had an old PTSD ridden.
I wish they'd shown a little bit more of that.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I mean, if they had 10, 12 episodes, we probably would have got a little, filler episode of Rand, with.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need it, but maybe more of a.
I liked it.
Maybe, I mean, even just like a scene, you don't need a filler episode, but just like a scene where he's like literally learning from that dude would have been like kind of interesting versus just like, I'm picking up on this, picking up what you're putting down, old man, while we walk through the halls.
Yeah, they used him to show Rand's homely nature and good-heartedness. So he served a couple of purposes at least. What about you? So here's something that I really love in the show that the show is doing with most of the Dark Friends, it seems, versus the books. Is this making the Dark Friends have more depth to why they're being Dark Friends?
They're not just like fanatics.
I want power and I want to live forever.
Yeah,
That's
or just pure evil. Yeah, there's a lot of just like
killed by a
pure evil by rote. This is I'm a bad guy, so I like rape and murder. So like I'm gonna be a Dark Friend. It's just like some people are just conflicted or tired or don't want to. They understand how the wheel works, so they're like, I'm done with this. Can we just be done with this?
Absolutely.
I like that.
One of the best things that they've done is they've put a third dimension with these characters. They've made and I think it's a darkly missed thing in the second season with Ingtar.
That's fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's another thing. It was that was such a weird thing, though.
They set it up too. It was
they built this whole second season on showing character
they set up.
I'm sorry, not Morgaze, Moraine's nephew, and Barf.
They literally set up Ingtar being the Dark Friend, when he was telling Perrin, some dark, you imagine why Padden Fane turned. Some people turn for reason.
Yeah, they set it up in the early episodes.
They cut it. They said they cut it for timing.
I heard that.
Rafe said it in a Q&A. Rafe said it. He said it's filmed already, and they may release it in maybe a bonus scene or something for people to see because they liked it.
It's fascinating. It's so bizarrely.
You spent all this time, the entire season, building giving these Dark Friends motivation, and building up the idea that Dark Friends can be Dark Friends but not horrible people at the same time, or maybe they joined for whatever reason. And even with Lanfear, they kind of made it a little more I don't know.
The Ingtar scene in the books is literally one of my favorite. Yeah, that was good.
It's one
of my favorite scenes in the entire series.
The entire last 50 pages is one of the best in the entire fucking series.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of fucking books.
So there's two
saying
things.
a lot for me because I'm not in that
scene.
scene and I'm in a later scene. So
There's two problems with the Ingtar scene. It's like he didn't know Rand at all, so like that was lacking in the moment. So like that's a big part of that moment is that
him and Rand
there,
have that bond. They're like brothers.
Yeah.
Joe, I see three people on cliffs.
Yeah.
so many cliff scenes here.
So many cliffs.
Tony Bob's
and balconies without railings.
Yeah,
they're not just cliffs. Sometimes they're balconies with no railings, supports of any kind.
We probably made too big of a thing.
Wow, look how red her costume is. Like they really dialed down the red in season 2.
She looks like a White Walker from Game of Thrones in that one shot because she's so white.
She's so pale and her eyes are so blue.
Leave our pale brethren alone, okay?
Right? Sorry.
Yeah, it's very offensive.
Moraine's pale because she's dying. Leandrin's just pale.
Because she's already dead on the inside.
I forgot that you were a bit of a ginge.
A bit?
I didn't forget.
Technically, just the beard. The hair is a combination of different colors.
I have a little bit of red hair on my cheeks. You can see it when I'm out in the sun.
I'm glad we're here for this episode because if we had been here for the Steppen interlude episodes, I would have been like, I'm out. I'm out.
For us.
It's been waiting the whole time.
It was a good episode.
So I remember we watched, and I'm sure you did. I assume you did too. Joe and I watched episodes 1 and 2 at whatever kind of.
At a premiere thing. Yeah.
Kitty and I got to host it in LA.
And you let Taffy tag.
Taffy tagging. Yeah.
No, yeah.
And then season 3 was
she was on her roller skates. Sorry.
Amazing.
Of course she was.
Episode 3 was the first one I watched at home.
Oh man, I love that.
Episodes 1 and 2, I was just like couldn't be more excited because they fucking happened. And that's the thing I'll never stop thanking for is like I'm thankful for the fact that this exists on this medium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love every decision. Sometimes I don't like them at all, but I'm thankful this shit exists.
Me too.
Episodes 1 and 2 were up here. Episode 3 was still up here, like huge amounts. There's some shit that happens later on in season 1 that I don't love, but episode 3 was still a really strong episode, and I'm really happy to have watched this one with such close friends.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You snuck in a little sensitivity in there.
I'm talking to Tom.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
now I got a quarter chub.
Yeah, it smells more than a quarter. Like you're lifting all the way up. Yeah,
my beef strong.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord! Why did I let you guys hang out together?
If anyone knows what movie that's from, bonus points. All right, let's switch over. So if anyone is not a full book spoiler person and you don't want to be full book spoiled, now is the time to leave because I'm going to switch over to full book spoilers now, and we can talk about whatever book spoilers we want. So, what do you? So we know. So we're going back to the Aiel because we had mentioned the Aiel and we wanted to talk about them a bit more, and the Drakkar also because I think we might see.
Yeah, because there's like the Cold Rocks hold scene.
I think we're going to get that scene, and I think that's where they're going to introduce the Drakkar.
The Drakkar is something I don't mind not seeing.
Yeah, fuck the Drakkar.
I mean, like,
I don't care.
I just want more types of Shadow Spawn, and I would like them to explore. Because
I know these aren't like necessarily Shadow Spawn, but I want more of the Shan beasts and stuff. Like I wish we had seen like an inkling that they like. Huh?
I don't need the Shan
beasts. You don't?
I want the scaly cats.
Are you kidding?
I want the scaly cats, to be honest.
The Grom?
No, Grom were the frogs.
Yeah, the Grom are the mirror
three-eyed frogs
with the 3 eyes. Yeah.
Well, the cats have 3 eyes too, but I forgot what they're called.
Not the shredded.
Lopar? Is it Lopar?
No, Lopar's the rhino.
Oh, okay. I just think it would be cool if the Sean Chan came up. Torm, thank you.
Yeah.
Of course, Noman Garden knows.
Yeah,
Garden always knows.
Noman Garden knows this. If they had just shown like an inkling, like that they had other things to ride on or something, that would have been kind of cool. Just like as a little bit of like a tease for like the next season or later seasons to come. Even I would have been like, okay, at least like even if it was a big saddle that was like nowhere fit on a horse or something, I'd have been like, oh, something's coming later.
Those are the birds, right? Those are like the ostrich birds things, I think.
Coral?
Yeah, I think those are like the ostrich things.
Other than
the terror birds. Actually, do I have it here? Yeah, hold on. I remember
the toe raken. Like, does anything really of like the raken, especially being scouts?
The Wheel of Time RPG book.
Oh, I bought mine.
I actually really like some of the art in that. It was so much more than the big white book, and I like that's why I owned those back in the day. I never even had played it, and I was just like, I'm just buying this for all the cool pictures of like. There's some really cool pictures of Aiel in that, for instance.
There are, yeah. This was my first foray into tabletop RPGs. Was playing this is
really
yeah.
The reason why I started reading Wheel of Time is because my best friend's older brother was like, I want to play this game. I need you guys to read the book. This is also a really good picture of Moraine. I like this one.
On the right.
I always like that Moraine. Yeah.
Let me see. But the core
like Danza Santos went off of that a little bit, by the way.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, almost seemed like he did his research and was like, I like this. That's the one. That's the version.
Yeah.
Moraine has a little bit of gypsy going on in her outfit, but I don't mind it.
Romani.
Not just the jewelry and like the way that her clothing looks like it seems.
I love that Tom's trying to offer you a far more politically correct way of saying it, and you're just jewelry.
Well, I have. I actually have a little bit of Romani in me because my grandmother would be horrified for me to say that, but because she insisted that she was 100% Italian. But she was actually Greek, and there was a lot of there it is. There's
What's
the
your favorite song?
That's the Corallum. That's the one that Noman Garden was talking about. Yeah. That's the only reason I remembered what that was, though. Yeah.
So the one, all right. So aside from Drakkar or whatever, those.
See,
I don't know. To me, they were always too like vampire-like, and I was just like, I don't really need that.
Honestly, I don't care if it's the Drakkar. Personally, to me, like, if not the most interesting, I think at least one of the most interesting Forsakens was always Agenor.
Yeah.
And the least interesting Forsaken was Demandred, and Demandred got too much attention, and Agenor got none. So I would love to see like a flashback of fucking Agenor in a lab somewhere. Oh, my bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I think the most fascinating thing that's really underappreciated or under kind of explored later on in book 1, when they go through the fucking Blight, and there's all these things of like, here's what we find here in the Blight. Here's what we find.
Oh, yeah.
Blight.
Yeah, like on the outskirts, it's this. You're only scared of these things, and when you get deeper, you get scared of these things. Yeah.
They call them worms, but they're just they're just Jumai that haven't developed. So the assumption obviously is worm. Obviously is another word for dragon. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was the kind of original name for it. That kind of thing. There's so much that goes on, and you're like, well, what the fuck happens when you get to the goddamn to the actual mountains? Like, if this is what's here, what the fuck is there?
Specifically because Lan says they're afraid of the things that are in the mountains.
Exactly.
Yes.
All you can think of is like, this is what's happening here. Is like, what the fuck? And it's like, the answer.
Well, hopefully they do it.
Goddamn, like Aiel of
the thing that I'm missing, or I really want, especially since the wolves were like a larger piece of season 2, or at least introduced properly in season 2. Like, I want the Darkhounds. Like, I want that Darkhound. Like, I want that to be at the end. Like, I want to see that in the end. Like kind of like Perrin's Slayer Darkhound wolf fight. Kind of thing.
And the dichotomy,
also just like Moraine using Balefire for the first time ever. I mean, like, I shouldn't do this. That's a really cool scene in book 3, which if book 3 bleeds into season 3 as much as it barely kind of had anything to do with season 2. Like book 2 and 3, the way he kind of sounded to me was that he was kind of blurring book 2 and 3 into season 2. But he sort of was also going to he kind of mentioned that season 3 would also have some book 3 in it. So like maybe we'll get that kind of scene, or like Moraine being with Rand and blasting something with balefire kind of thing.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking cool. And also there's the Matt kills a Darkhound thing in the tent. Is that book 4?
That's book what, in the tent?
Well, doesn't there a Darkhound attack and then like Rand
doesn't he kill a Gray Man too?
So there's Darkhound.
Perrin kills a Gray Man in book 3.
No. No, Matt, you're talking about Matt or Rand? Tom, you were talking about Matt or Rand?
I can't remember.
Oh, that was Rand. It was you were talking about Matt. I thought Rand. So that's interesting.
I was straight at the screening. He told me book 3 was additive, that new readers could read 1 to 3.
So like he's peppering book 3 throughout seasons 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Yeah, so I got that impression as well. So like hopefully some of that book 3 stuff with the Darkhounds maybe bleeds its way to season 3. Like that would be cool to me.
Yeah. If they don't do the Darkhound, like I hope. Well, all right. If they forgetting about when they do the Darkhounds, I hope that they include the Darkhounds with a more expansive Perrin story. Like if they do Perrin returning to the 2 rivers in season 4, like I'm fine with that. Like maybe like they bring them along because like I just never. I felt like it was always like a missed thing pitting the Darkhounds against the wolves as like I know they talk about it in the books a little bit, but there's never like a big like confrontation between Darkhounds and wolves, and
there is only in the last battle, and it's only for like and it's very like off screen. It's happening in the background kind of thing.
I just always wanted, like, whenever they sent somebody after Perrin, they always had a Darkhound. That'd
be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, you're right. If you're gonna bring it into the show, do it that way, and like
exactly.
Like Perrin, like they call them the twisted ones, right? The wolves do.
No, those are the Trollocs.
Yeah. That's what I'm going for. Is like they're called the twisted ones because they are, half human corrupted with twisted animal, and some of them are wolf based. It seems like.
Narg had a wolf thing, and the ones in the show have it too.
But so that's a way more. If we abandon there's ever a wolf kind of Trolloc, and instead make it Darkhounds are the only wolf-based thing, that makes it a far more visceral thing for them because, like, again, obviously wolves don't like anything evil. Fine, good enough start. But if you really think about pulling that back, and Noman Garden is talking about what happens, I think in book 4 or 5.
Yeah, what am I misremembering?
No, so it's in Ruidian, right after Rand has had the fight. Like, so Rand has a fight using the flame sword at first on the tops of Ruidian.
Is that when the Drakkar and everything?
No, doesn't Matt get bitten by a Darkhound? Yes, and then he's poisoned, and then Rand balefires a Darkhound or something.
What happens is Rand has a fight on top of the symbol outside in Ruidian. So I guess it's gonna be at book 5.
Is that in Rudy? I thought it was in like Cold Rock's Hold. I thought it was like way earlier.
That's where Drakkar is. So in book 5, after they come back from Cold Rock's Hold, or before they get to Jesus, my mind's blown. But anyway, so he slices them all up with the fire sword. Then they come back together, learns balefire pretty much. And
right. That's you're right. That's what it is. So it's after the fog. It's after everything. So it's book 5, maybe.
Yeah,
early book 5. Yeah,
beginning of book 5. Yeah. Oh, Secret Star Pop Star. I love that cup. Anyway, I lost track of where I was.
Well, so Darkhounds is me. What's the Shadow Spawn you want to see, Jono?
I
want something new, fresh. Like Myrddraal.
New.
Fuck. Trolloc.
Like they create like a new type of Shadowspawn for the show.
I'm as long as it does.
I really wouldn't be against that.
I wouldn't be against it either.
It makes sense because Shadowspawn stopped.
It'd be cool if they took Drakkar and combined it with something else too.
There you go. I don't need to.
Or maybe make like I always thought of them maybe having like a general type Trolloc, like or like a maybe a bigger Trolloc, because like the Lord of the Rings, I know the trolls. Well, the trolls and the goblins and the Uruk-hai aren't the same thing, but they had trolls and they're humongous and they're big. That's, I feel like the monster that they're missing in the Shadowspawn army is a big, gigantic, hulking, like 30-foot tall.
I always liked that the Wheel of Time was like reality based in terms of its monsters and like kept it like a little more.
What about this thing? What if you take your existing reality and you start crossing Ogier with some shit?
That would be sick. A Shadowspawn Ogier would be sick. That would be sick. That would be fucking sick.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
Oh my god, reverse tree singing. Like corrupting trees.
I fucking love it.
Rafe, hire us. We'll create this for you.
I have so many ideas.
Why could that not be what the blight is? Why could that not be?
My god, the Ogier, the evil Ogier are like singing the blight into existence.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
That would be so
sick. Great idea.
That would be so sick. They're never gonna do it.
That's a great idea.
It's never gonna happen.
They're never gonna do it.
Oh my god, that would be sick as fuck though. That would be
You know what a great cold open scene would be that you could show without really showing anything would be like Myrtle clenching a blade, in the blight, like a quick blight scene, and not really show anything, but kind of just be like, it's the fucking blight. It's dark as shit up here.
Tom was about to say that forge is probably the darkest thing in the entire show.
Yeah, killing people and taking their souls and infusing them in the blades. The children that they use.
Yes, that'd be so brutal.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'm not saying you need that in season 3 or anything, but maybe soon, I mean, because you could show it without really showing what's going on, and people would be like, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah.
Or that'd be cool.
And the Forgers were always the most like that. You only see them for that 1 second with Demandred when he goes to Sheol Ghul. He gets summoned to Sheol Ghul.
Yeah.
But I always liked my favorite scenes in the entire book are every single viewpoint from a Forsaken, because 100%. They're always the most interesting ones.
Which is why books 4, 5, 6, 7 are like some of the best fucking books.
Which is why I really like season 2, because I thought they did a really good job with Lane Ishmael.
Just to see the
and Olmog. I thought Olmog was weirdly, bizarrely interesting.
I love the book cloak term. It's such a weird insult. It's so funny.
I don't understand. So I don't know.
We don't need to get into it. We don't need to get into it.
No. I just want to ask a general finger on the pulse feeling. I felt like the book cloak thing when it first came about was really more about people being upset at the racist people being upset at the casting of and not so much the
as a racist
show. But now it's kind of shifted towards if you like the books and you're critical of the show, you just immediately get called a book cloak. And I'm like, I feel like people are just throwing that word around.
Yeah, no, I don't. My thought of it is the people that are toxic. Not
see, that's exactly any
version of actually bad, the racist people, the sexist people, the homophobic people. Those are the book cloaks, not the people that just don't like the show. You cannot like the show. That's perfectly fine.
Well, I've seen that line blur a little bit, and I'm just we should shift that back over to being racist, horrible people.
I compare to the word book.
Yeah,
I don't like that book is used.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's too
open-ended. That's why the line has blurred.
Well, no, it's too rhythmic. We're not gonna get rid of it. It works too well.
It's not going.
It's never going to go anywhere.
No, it's not. It's going nowhere.
Yeah, book cloak is too. It's just too fitting. It's such a good onomatopoetically. I don't know. What's a good. I'm trying to think of a good descriptor for it, but it works too well.
That was pretty good.
I mean? Yeah,
it's too apt. But on the other hand, here's a question. And I have an idea for JordanCon, for people who are coming to JordanCon for your first time. If you want to really make a splash entrance, besides just a what's it called, a facial, maybe make an entire outfit instead of a gleaming patchwork cloak, just out of books.
Or the cover art.
I thought you were going to say a white cloak with a sunburst, but instead of a red crook, it'd just be a red book or something.
That's actually what the real racist dicks are. And that's not that.
Actual racist penises?
Yeah. Oh, The penises alone. The penises.
I mean, their penises are racist as well as the person inside.
Well, were they circumcised or uncircumcised? Because if not,
they've definitely got a hood, Jono.
Yeah, they definitely.
You know what I mean?
They have to have
They definitely got a
uncircumcised. So get yourself circumcised is what these assholes are saying.
I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah.
The only I remember the first person that I saw dressed as a white cloak was I forgot his name. Do you remember Tiffany? She did the fantasy track. Her dad used to come every year dressed as a white cloak. He was the best white cloak.
It was good. It was really good. He
was a questioner too. I have
he
it
had
in my
actual
thing.
Metal breastplate.
Mm-hmm. I'll find it.
Insane.
I was just looking.
It was
for
legit,
it. really, really
like,
good.
Yeah, like you could hit him with a sword and it would glance off to the side. Like it was a legit breastplate.
It's amazing.
I love their designs in the show. By the way, those the costume designs for the white cloaks are. I mean, a lot of the costume designs in the show are great, but the white cloaks went beyond like. I don't know. There was actually it seemed like they put some really good design thought process into like making them look cool, but also functional military. But I don't know. I thought they looked really good. I loved the sunburst pauldron they came up with. That was awesome.
Yeah, you don't. Again, there's so much cool shit that they do. Like they got the baldric, they got like the pauldron. Baldric is for sword. They got the pauldrons. They got that. Like you don't see that like really like deep fucking work done very often.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating. I'm glad Tom's here. I was giggity out of my.
See you later.
I'm fascinated by like sometimes some of the stuff they've done is so deep, so brilliant.
Oh, that's before he got the medal. But this is the first Jordan Con. That's the first Jordan Con.
Again, the first Jordan Con is
Jordan Con 1. Look at that.
Yeah, like can you imagine where he went from there? Like that's fucking incredible start.
That was Jordan Con 1. He added to that later. Like
100%. Oh, speaking of people from Jordan Con 1, baby Jason with hair, and baby Brandon. Oh, Wilson.
Look at
Wilson
baby Brandon.
Too.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's an iPod. Sorry.
Wow, look at that.
Fucking iPod.
So by the way, I'll be honest, you guys all missed the best event of all time. At Jordan Con 1, they played the thing.
That's probably what the iPod is, John.
Don't hit F4, by the way, or it makes you leave the show.
I noticed that. I was like, I saw our screens move while that was up, and I'm
slightly.
I think Tom's gone.
Tom broke something
because Jono's still talking, and I'm here.
Yeah.
No, I just broke things.
So Jordan Con 1 did have that amazing, just so like spine-tinglingly awesome.
The burlesque show was a lot of fun. They did the Val and Luke. It was Val and Lucas Traveling Circus, but as a burlesque show, and it was great.
Yeah.
Hats off to them.
I remember that very vividly.
Yeah. But then Robert Jordan's prologue from book 12.
Yeah, Robert Jordan voice recording of his prologue for the
We'll never forget his voice sounding
so great. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was he was very sick at that point.
He was very sick. Yeah. So it was like
months before he passed.
Horrifying sounding, but also you're like on the edge of your seat because he's reading the prologue to the last book, and you're like,
I think I teared up a little bit, to be honest.
Oh, forgot. Yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
Oh, so I
didn't tear up just listening. I teared up the millisecond you look up and see Harriet and everybody on Chief Jordan.
Oh yeah.
You're just like, oh.
Alan and Maria. That was also where. So this is a spoiler for Beyond Book 14.
Beyond Book 14. Spoilers.
Beyond a Memory of Light. Yeah. So Tom. This was the only Jordan Con Tom Doherty came to. We used to joke about it because he accidentally dropped a huge spoiler during the opening ceremonies. After they played the prologue, and they did not really like a Q&A, but they were allowing people to ask questions. And someone asked about the Outrigger novels, and Tom Doherty was like, "Yeah, well, Harriet was like, no one else is going to write in the world of real time, just Brandon, and we're not doing the Outrigger novels." And Tom Doherty chimed in, was like, "Well, maybe, I don't know. I really liked that Robert Jordan was going to do Tam Althor as one of the Outrigger novels, and then the other one was Matt and Tuan going back to the Shang-Chin after the last battle.
Yeah.
That's a huge spoiler. You just told us, first of all, Matt and Tuan are together for some reason.
Yeah.
And they make it through the last battle.
And they survive.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wait, I heard that the other Outrigger. So I guess there's 3, right? So
there was 3,
yeah. The third one being why Moraine and Lan got there just in time. That's the third one.
I don't know. I think that was
New Spring. Yeah, New Spring was the third Outrigger novel.
But that has nothing to do with that was already published. That's not that's the prologue.
Tom Doherty said that they had 3 plans. They published New Spring, and then the other 2 were supposed to be.
No, there was supposed to be a kind of like how it is, and maybe that kind of would coincide with what Tam was doing, but not really. Why, right on time, Lan and Moraine arrived as they did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
The Tam one I thought was just supposed to be him with Ilian and the Aiel.
Yeah, it was going to be him and the companions. Yeah, during the
Aiel.
That would have been amazing to have that little chunk of backstory. I would have loved that.
I have read a dozen or 2 dozen.
It could have literally like ended with him like that cold open from season 1 with like him finding Rand on the that would have been like the greatest like cutoff point to jump into book 1 after that.
I have read at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen Brandon Sanderson books. Something like almost all of him, like especially in the Cosmere. And I'm happy to do so. But no offense to the man. I would give a lot to have never really known about him at first, to have seen what the fuck Jordan really wanted to do with.
Oh yeah, I mean,
not just books 12, which presumably.
Oh yeah.
All of that. Like Brandon did an admirable, great fucking job. But what the fuck that would have looked like?
A lot of we do know that like they've already said, Harriet and Brandon have already said they'll never tell us which scenes Brandon completely invented and like were like scene by scene. They'll never go through scene by scene. And they're like Brandon invented this, Rob Jordan invented it.
I mean,
but they did say,
nothing, but it's not hard to tell. You know?
No, it's not entirely hard. They did say a lot of it was already done.
That's the stuff that fascinates me. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for Perrin. They have said Perrin was really just ambiguous notes on like where he wanted him to end, but no way to get there. And Brandon had to invent a lot of that. So I think for the most part,
it's the superhero in the world of dreams.
Yeah, I love that, man. When he was literally my favorite scene,
like you can tell it's pure Brandon.
Oh yeah, when he was just like, it's just.
I'm going to take this magic system and go within the rules, but I'm going to go crazy with it. And I'm like, I actually kind of love this, but I can tell it's Brandon.
That is my favorite thing. The thing that is like the tip top Brandon was Andrel. With the Waygates, that's tip top. That's 100% Brandon.
That is epitome. I don't love all of it, but at the same time,
but it's him. It's Brandon in the quintessential sense of like exploring the rules of a magic system to the utmost. Like that's what he does. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm aware, and as you've heard me rant a few times,
of course,
that's one of the things that's most like brilliant. It's the most like this is Brandon like who takes like all right, so the magic does this, and just like. All right.
He writes a certain set of rules so he can push the boundaries of it.
Yeah.
I like it, but he
thankfully Robert Jordan wrote a really good set of rules for how his magic system works.
And I it's just I think he just does it in a way that a lot of people would not have thought of. Like as many Wheel of Time discussions as we've been in, I never heard somebody say, why not just open one side of a Waygate in a volcano and drip lava on people? Like I never heard someone
That's why I like what Brandon does, because I have those thoughts all the time. The second I read like a book and it has like a certain set of magic, I'm like, no, how would I use this? And I already start going off down this crazy rabbit hole of like, what if you did this? What if you had a Waygate and you did, like kind of thing. So like, when he started writing Andrel, I was like, I'm in for it.
Did you guys ever read? I don't know if you ever seen him, like Mormon marriage contracts.
No.
Be very careful if you ever marry Brandon Sanderson.
I'd like to marry Brandon Sanderson.
You can say Jono says horrible things at any time.
Yeah. Well, is there a prenup in the contract? Like, because if there's not, I'm good. Like,
maybe you think so, but the rules you think so are not.
I don't know if that's the end of Perrin being like with Slayer. I don't know how much of that was Robert Jordan, but like the flickering back and forth between the wheel or the world of the dream world and reality, where it's like Slayer versus Luke, and he's like fighting him with the hammer, like, and also killing him as a wolf, like clenching down on his. I was like that, like, and the time splits got like within like milliseconds, and it got like down to where they were killing them both at the exact same time, and his parent in the world of the Tel'Ran'rhiod as well as the real world. I was like, that was fucking fantastic, and I want to see that happen. And I don't know if I'll ever see that happen the way I have it in my mind. Yeah. But that was fantastic.
So like, there's so many real. Oh God, I love a lot of the parent stuff in the last book. Especially, I really liked the one that got cut that they put into that anthology. The one with
River
him
Soul.
River of Souls. The one in the when they go into the waves with Galad and the White Cliffs. I like that one.
I actually haven't read River of Souls.
I love when he
it's really good.
Dragonmount randomly, and he's like, "Red," and they have this like weird moment, like that was kind of cool.
The River of Souls one with Perrin doesn't match up anywhere into the book anymore because
it's non-canon.
It's not that it's non-canon; it doesn't even work anymore because the timeline. He had to change the timeline so much that it doesn't fit anywhere. Like you can't even see where it would fit.
It's this is something I thought of and didn't.
Yeah. It was just I just really liked it a lot. Having them travel through the ways and the conversation between Galad and Perrin was just a lot of fun.
That's the thing, though, is I one day, and I don't know, Harriet's the Arbit. What huge things going on through my mind, most of which are phallic. But when I think about
he's thinking about me. That's
huge phallic things.
That's why he's thinking about me.
But who's done the most of the Wheel of Time series, right? Like, obviously Jordan, but I don't know sometimes like where like Harriet versus Brandon. Not that they're like a discussion of who's done more, but like who's kind of like. I want to know what each one thinks sometimes, right? Not a push versus pull kind of thing, but like certain things that Brandon has written, I don't want to see because I don't want him to have to publish things because if he's publishing, things have gone wrong on some cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, like I want to know everything that happened without knowing the behind the scenes too much.
Okay.
One of the good things that Robert Jordan, and he talked about it, like it was a really old interview talking about how he has so many storylines going. I think it was when book 8 or 9 was coming out, and like, will he wrap up all the storylines? And he just flat out said no. Like he told the interviewer no. Yeah. He's like, because he wanted us to be able to do this.
Yeah,
he wanted us to be able to talk about it, like,
like what do you think happened to blah blah blah? Yeah.
He liked that.
I'm gonna get a weird blood cancer that you're not gonna know about, and it's gonna be a weird
amyloidosis.
Yeah. Unfortunate news on that one. He was very correct. It's weird that he wrote that in an interview.
He did have actual prophetic visions. Speaking of prophetic visions, we're gonna have. I want to prophesize who's going to be my guest next week.
I'm
interested. I'm seeing two people. It's a father and a son. It's Jim and Jack. Zach from the Fantasy of Ages YouTube show. They're going to watch Dragon Reborn episode 4 with us. I really enjoy
those guys.
Yeah, me too. I love seeing it's. I don't know if it's like because I dream about my dad actually caring about anything nerd stuff because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care about the nerd shit. He likes that I like it, but he doesn't care.
Saying that earlier.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm glad you like that, but my dad doesn't read books or into fantasy or anything like that. So, but I like to see like like Jim
My
and
dad
Zach
didn't care about fantasy books either.
Yeah, I wish.
But he would have loved to watch the show with me. He would have definitely watched the show. Yeah.
My mom is a little bit more into the TV, like watching, like she loves Star Wars, being her watch all the Star Wars shows.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's more sports and stuff and golf, and I never.
My dad's
really
the reason I
into
love comic books, though. So like, he's definitely a nerd at heart in some way.
No, not even a little. Not mine.
Took us to the comic shop when we were very young.
Jealous.
Yeah.
You played soccer with your dad.
He indoctrinated me into the world of Batman at a very young age.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I mean, my dad let me buy GI Joes. That was like, he bought me GI Joe. He would take me to the store to buy me GI Joes. That was the only indulgence that my dad did into my nerdom. He wasn't against it. He just wasn't into it himself. But seeing like Jim and Zach, and then like Beth and her mom watching, and Beth and her daughter watching, Beth Doman watching the Wheel of Time was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of generational Wheel of Time love that WoT Holocaust was at WotCon with his daughter, and he came to like that was really cool. I just like seeing that, and I kind of like romanticize.
I mean, my kids are way too young right now, but like I fingers crossed I can like kind of impart that sort of love for actual reading, like, but no, I mean more just, if you find something you want to read more than that, like, great, go for it. But like, I really just want them to read and, enjoy that kind of things.
Tom, you said WoT Holocaust, but it sounded like WoT Holocaust, which is a way different. Like, I was like, I am fascinated by who this character, WoT Holocaust is.
And on that note, thanks.
That's podcast for this week. Thanks for joining us on TWoTCast this week at Dragonmount.com. I know that's a little odd for everybody and didn't quite understand it, but this has been TWoTCast for this week. We're the Wheel of Time reread podcast.
What's your guys' next episode that you're doing?
Oh, I don't. So we're actually taking a couple weeks. We're taking off tomorrow because it's Halloween, obviously, and I have small children that need to go trick or treating. We're taking off the next week so Jono can go to Atlanta United game. So
yeah,
we got a couple weeks. We got a couple weeks.
They're not good. Atlanta United is going to win, but you know what? I already got tickets. We're going to go. We may fucked up. It's going to be a good time. But right now
we'll be back on the 14th.
Right now, November 14th looks to have. Early on, Maria has said she'll be in. And
so Maria's coming on. We're gonna talk more season 2 stuff. We're just gonna. We haven't finished ranting / liking season 2.
Yep.
And I just it's Iris Bear. Hey, Iris Bear.
Hello, Iris Bear.
I talk to Maria about when she met Daniel Henney. That's my when she tells that story.
That's a great idea. We should we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, because Maria, 1, loves Matt Cawthon, but 2, loves Barney, and I really want to see what Maria thought about.
She thinks of Donald. Yeah.
So that's my number 1 question for Maria. Yeah. But Maria's coming on November 14th, and we might have another guest. We don't know.
Yeah, a certain bearded, bald,
bearded, bald man named.
No, I'm just inserting myself.
Thomas.
Ooh, inserting yourself.
Well, that's for you later, Jono. That's after hours. We're not on camera anymore.
Yeah.
Or on the only.
Tom, thanks for having us on, man. We love you.
Always.
We love being.
I love talking with you. Tom. I miss other Tom.
Yeah, this is, in terms of a TWoTCast show, this is very normal in terms of the names.
Thanks for coming to hang out with me and spending the time. I always love. I feel like this is the only time I get to see, when I do like streams and stuff, is the only time I get to see like all of my friends, because like I have my core group of friends from high school, and then like that's it, and then everyone else is people that I've met at either JordanCon or Tarvon.net, and they're like, those are my real friends. Like, those are my friends.
You went to high school.
I know, right? I finished. I know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong.
Good job.
Tell me about your finish.
That's
it's very strong, and it's a lot.
That's in the OnlyFans later.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think so. I paid a lot of fucking money.
Say goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.